Welcome back to the Birdhouse Dynasty Trade Show and our Week 4 coverage. Heading into Week 4 here, we had a monster amount of trades go on, especially in one of our leagues here. And we're drawing these trades straight from our Patreon. We've got Matt English in the house today to help analyze these deals. How we doing today, Matt?
Oh, doing good, bright and early on a Friday morning. Doesn't get better
Yeah.
than this, dude.
Have some
It's
fun
been,
coaching last night?
oh yeah, man. Being a parent coach is such a joy. It really is.
Oh,
Really is, man. Uh, yeah, dude, we're on a little bit of a win streak on my kiddo's baseball team, so really enjoying that high. Hopefully, some of that attitude can translate to some of my fantasy teams because it's been such a weird season. It's been such a weird season, and trying to navigate it's been fun too.
yeah, absolutely. Lots of big injuries early on in this season. Lots of different guys stepping up that we maybe didn't expect, like Quentin Johnston, guys like that out of nowhere. And so maybe you've started out 0-3 on a team that you thought on paper you should be 2-1 or 3-0 at this point, or 5-1 or 6-0 if you're playing with the median. Maybe you're 2-1 or 3-0 on a team that you weren't expecting to be a contender. So a lot of these deals have to do with teams in those situations. And so what it boils down to is, it's early still, right? It's only September 26th here, 2025. And between weeks 3 and 4 of the season, are you really wanting to go all in, right? But a lot of that comes down to league dynamics, doesn't it, Matt? Like you have to, if teams start giving up right now, so to speak, sometimes you got to make the move, right?
Right. Yeah, and I think, I mean, we've talked about this week in particular as we kind of navigate some of our own deals or potential deals. Not all of them come to fruition, but yeah, I mean, it's you kind of get stuck if you're a contender here and hoping to pick up some pieces along the way, maybe mid-season, have a better idea of things. But the way the season has gone, you know, I know just across our leagues, there's teams that when you look at their roster, you're like, this is how are they 0-3? I mean, I had a couple teams that were 0-2, and on paper, I was like, dude, I wasn't panicked because I knew my team was good. And then last week, both of those teams righted the ship, scored points, and won. But
Right.
man, had I not been playing fantasy for as long, I probably would have freaked out. Like, how is this happening? I got to start making moves. I got to do something different. And sometimes the best thing to do is just to stay put. Sometimes the best thing is make the smaller move. Get a smaller piece in there that turns the ship for you or turns the tide. So there's a ton of different ways, but like you said, the dynamic of your league, your roster, all that kind of determines what you should be doing at this point.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. So we've got a number of receivers getting dealt this week, and we're going to start off with your boy from Houston, Nico Collins, in a big deal here over in my Dynasty Land League. We had Nico Collins getting obtained by Ramzak Nation from Havdi for, in return, Marvin Harrison, Bashul Tutin, and his 26th first. Now, Havdi was getting his, no, he's getting Ramzak's 26th first. Sorry, I was going to say his 26th first back. But the dynamic on this one basically is that Havdi had just taken over a team that got orphaned early in the week. Okay, so it was like Tuesday that this happened, and Havdi knows a lot of the people in the league already, so he was comfortable with them and ready to make a move. This team was, I think, in 9th or 10th place, right? Has some talent, but not quite ready to contend yet. All
Mm-hmm.
right. And so Nico Collins was one of his main pieces that he had. Now, he did have Justin Herbert and CJ Stroud already on this team, so he broke up the stack there with Stroud and Nico. But I like this move from Havdi's side of it. Ramzak on the other side he's a contender. I'll bring up the Dynasty Daddy power rankings for this league after we discuss this deal. But Ramzak is he does have the most valuable roster in the league. So he had plenty of value to disperse, so to speak, right? And so we've got a contender in Ramzak getting Nico Collins and Havdi acquiring Marvin Harrison, Tootin, and a 26 first. What do you think initially just seeing this deal, Matt?
I mean, my first thoughts were I want to see the rosters, but I mean, based on your brief description here on the scenario, I mean, I guess that's going to line up if he's got the piece. How many do they start in this league?
So it's just a start 9 only. Okay. So you start 2 wide receivers and 2 flexes. So you only need 2 wide receivers.
Yeah. So I mean, it sounds like you need some big point scorers to shove into.
You need the hammers.
So if he's a contender, that deal makes a lot of sense because you got a couple of guys there that probably aren't hitting the lineup, and then you just throw another first on there. I mean, if you're really competing, it's a good move. It's a good move for him. And then Havdi's shoes. If you're trying to rebuild and there's no chance, you just brought in 2 young pieces. You're getting Marvin Harrison thrown in with, I mean, Marvin Harrison, Tootin, and a first for Nico, I think is a pretty decent haul, especially with the way Nico started the season. Now, I know last week he popped, which is great for Nico owners and his value. But that's a tough one to beat. I actually like that deal for both. I'm interested to see their rosters, to see how these pieces fit in. But based on the scenario, it looks like both teams actually get a little win here.
Yeah, I mean, the initial returns, Havdi's looking good, or at least last night he was happy to see Marv get into the end zone. And if you were watching, Marv was super elated himself. You could gasp a sigh of relief in the end zone as he knelt down. You could tell he was frustrated with himself with his performance so far at the beginning of the season. I think there's a lot of pressure on the guy to be the man to take Arizona to the next level, so to speak, right? Even though Kyler Murray's still there and Trey McBride's there, obviously, but so I think Marv's putting a little unneeded pressure on himself, but I can get it. You have a couple of drops and the team loses. Early in that game, he had a drop that turned into an interception. So, yeah, it's been a rough go for Marv so far. But let's be real here. He's still only 23 years old. He did put up numbers last year as a rookie. He just didn't put up, Malik Neighbors or Brian Thomas numbers.
He didn't put up number 2 or number 3 overall, whatever his pick was. He didn't put up those numbers. So there's a lot of pressure on him. He's Marvin Harrison Jr., son of a Hall of Famer, best receiver prospect we've seen in I don't know how long. So the pressure is rightly owned. But good for him for a good finish last night. He's got big shoes to fill. So some of that he put on himself, right? Not doing like workouts, keeping to himself, signing his own deals. He went a different path. So I think there's a higher expectation on him as well. But it's nice to see him succeed. You never want to see a good prospect and asset totally fizzle before they have a chance to shine.
Yes. So let's go over to the Dynasty Daddy
Let's do that.
Site here to show you this league. And then we've got a couple of questions actually from the chat already this morning. But here is the league, Dynasty Land, and I just want to make sure there we go. Okay. So you can see there, like I said, Ramzak Nation, Troy, he's sitting up top. This league's been we're in our 5th year now, and our 6th year actually. 2020 was the first year, um, and so yeah, Troy's built up this team. He went into a rebuild for 2 years, accumulated a ton of draft capital, and then flipped it all into a bunch of contending assets. And you can see he's sitting pretty solid there as the number one valued roster. And here is his squad after that Nico Collins deal. So Matt, take a look at that and let me know what you think. He just gave up his 26 first. So he made the move right now prior to week 4. This is basically his big move that he can make. I mean, he still has his 27 and 28 first, but he got rid of that 26 first now.
Man. Yeah, no, that's a good roster. Starting 9, that's a great roster. Yeah, great deal. Great deal for him. He gets that top end receiver to pair with Garrett Wilson. He's got good flexes with Sutton. I mean, especially with McLaurin having the quad injury and seeing a specialist yesterday. I know he doesn't have surgery, but he's probably not going to be playing this week or next, if I had to guess. So bringing in a Nico Collins is huge because Mike Evans is out as well. Juwan Jennings is hobbled. So now he's got 3 receivers that he can bank on. And 3, maybe even 4 with the emergence of Scattaboo that last week. 5, God, he's got a good roster, dude. He's got a good roster.
Yes, he does. He's pretty stacked at running back there. I mean, Scattaboo and Mason both had good weeks last week. Hampton getting the bump with the Najee Harris Achilles tear out for the season. So, yeah, things are looking pretty solid. And then he's got, of course, Jonathan Taylor, who is the hottest running back out there right now. He'll need Jaden Daniels to come back healthy from this injury, but I mean, even if not, he's got Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love. So I mean, yeah, he's a definite top contender in this league. Now, if we roll down to Havdi's roster here, Havdi's sitting at 1-5, so that's where he was looking to make the moves to just acquire value, right? He's sitting at what, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th in value. So yeah, there's the squad now after the moves that he made. So now you see that he actually does have just a single first in each of the next 2 years. But he made a couple of other deals after this one that we'll get to. But what do you think of Havdi's squad?
I mean, in
as it
rebuilding
sits right now,
he's still got some good pieces. Which is why he's listed as frisky. Because I mean, he could turn and win some matchups this year with the roster, but he is young. If he gets a little bit more draft capital in there, that's great. I mean, he's got 2 good quarterbacks, several young running backs. Good receivers still. McConkey, Harrison, and Smith from a value, and Pittman from a value standpoint. He's looking good there. He's got Franklin, Horton, Trey Harris. He's got good youth. Plenty of chances to hit. Tyler Warren at tight end. That's a great have. Yeah, he's got a lot to work with here, and there's a lot of hope in that roster. I mean, not this year, maybe not next, but he's got some good young pieces in there.
Yeah, it'd be really tough for him to really make a move this year. I mean, just looking at the running backs, the situation there, Chase Brown kind of down now with the Joe Burrow injury there, and then the young bodies in JCM, Tootin, the injured now Tyron Tracy. So his running back room definitely is lacking there. The receivers, I love that's a great receiver room, but it brings up the point of the beginning of our show. Like he's starting to make move this initial deal, and we'll get it to the other deals afterward. But the initial deal was sort of a move for a rebuilding team, right? You get rid of Nico, and you add multiple assets, right?
Right.
And we'll see how he builds off of that trade coming up here. But first, let's hit up. We've got a couple people with questions in the chat. So Jesse asked,
Sure.
"Do we do redraft trades?" He's got a question. And sure, Jesse, we're a dynasty trade show, but we don't mind hitting up the redraft avenue. We both play in redraft leagues as well. So your trade here is trading Javonte Williams, Monty, and Rashee Rice, I'm assuming, for
Mhm.
Bijan and Matthew Golden. Redraft 14 teamer, half PPR. He's 3-0. Start 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, and 2 flex. So he's counting. He must be. Oh, okay. That's just 14 teams, not how many. So it'd be like a start 9, just like we were talking about in
Okay.
Dynasty Land.
And what is he giving up again to bring in Bijan?
Yes, he's gaining Bijan and Matthew Golden, selling Javonte Williams, Monty, and Rashee Rice. He has Lamar and Kincaid at running back, Achan, Trey Benson, Javonte, Monty, and Woody Marks. At wide receiver, he's got Jettas, Sutton, Egbuka, Rice, Tillman, and Booty. So right off the rip, I see the main part of the deal is Bijan and Rashee Rice on the other side, and then you've got a couple of running backs who have, well, Javonte outperformed so far his draft capital, and then Monty showing up last week, that definitely pumped up his value. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the trade high. I mean, Rice is going to increase in value in the upcoming weeks here, but with his roster, he's got Jefferson, Egbuka, and Sutton yet there. So, I mean, he's got 3 good receivers he can start every week.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the deal getting Bijan. Now you've got Bijan and Achan, a couple of anchors at running back, versus having Javonte. I mean, what do you do with Javonte and Monty every week? Who are you
Right.
starting between those two, right?
Yep.
So that's how I like to do my teams, is try and streamline them so I have less decisions to make on Sunday morning. What do you
Yeah.
think,
No, I
Matt?
think I like this trade. It's taken Javonte Williams and Monty and throwing them in one player for Bijan. There's no guarantee with Rashee Rice when he comes back that he'll. I mean, we all believe he'll have the role he had when he got hurt or when he was with the team. But is this team even going to be doing the same things? I mean, they're 1-2. They're clearly not the same Chiefs that we would have expected to see. Right? Mahomes doesn't look the same. Kelsey is way worse than even I thought. And I wasn't high on Kelsey to begin with this year. They don't really have an identity offensively. Maybe he gives them that, but there's no guarantee there. I love this deal. He's hammering all of his what if and 2 player value into getting Bijan, and I think that's great. And getting Golden at this point of the season as a throw in on that deal, awesome. Couldn't ask for a better time to invest in Golden, you know. So I think in the next couple of weeks we're going to see Golden pop off. I mean, there's a couple of balls that Jordan Love threw over the last couple of weeks that if they were better thrown balls, Golden wouldn't be in this deal, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great deal.
Yeah, we'd be talking about Golden in the same breath as Egbuka, almost.
Yep.
Because this is a great buy low on Golden. I love selling high on Javonte and Monty, and Rashee Rice, his value is a little bit more right now than it was 3 weeks ago. He hasn't done a thing, right? It's just because he's closer to being on the field. So yeah, you gave up a little value there, as if you're talking if he had waited until week 7, because the hype is going to build every
Right.
week now with Rashee Rice, even with Xavier Worthy coming back this week. Everybody knows that Rashee Rice is the main go-to guy once he is in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Matthew Golden's value can increase, right? So there's that part of it as well. So he's covering his butt on that end, and yeah, getting out on Javonte and Montgomery at this point right now is perfect timing. I mean, it couldn't be a more perfect time than right now to sell on David Montgomery, other than a Jahmyr Gibbs injury. Knock on wood, because I have enough of him. I don't want that happening. All right, and then we got another one from Bryce. What's up, boys? In redraft, would you trade Josh Allen and Ricky Pearsall for Jaden Daniels and Derrick Henry? Okay.
No.
Well, what do you think initially, Matt?
No.
Yeah, that's I mean, there's no other context to it, but just straight up, like, let's say it's a redraft, a 12 team, start 10. Right now, Josh Allen, I'm going to take over Jaden Daniels. At the beginning of the season, they'd be seen as equals, but, Daniels has got a banged up McLaurin right now. I don't want to say that I'm thinking Jaden Daniels is falling off of a cliff. He's not having a CJ Stroud sophomore slump here by any means yet, but it is not trending well for him. Okay, right? I mean, I would definitely put Hurts ahead of him now for sure in redraft, and even with the Burrow injury, Justin Herbert's looking pretty damn good, right? And so I don't know where I'd slide Jaden Daniels in right now with his what he's got at receivers behind McLaurin. They're not terrible, but they're not Terry McLaurin.
Right.
And then Derrick Henry versus Ricky Pearsall. I mean, Pearsall's been pretty solid. So I don't know. I just don't want to trade Josh Allen. Like, I gotta get a bigger advantage somewhere else. And I guess I need to see the rest of your roster to know. Yeah, so he says 12 team, 2 flex. So yeah, basically what we thought. I just need to know the rest of the like how much is this? Did you just have a big injury at running back? Why are you trying to get Derrick Henry? I guess, right? What do you think, Matt?
Just on a straight calculator, if somebody those 4 pieces, I wouldn't do a deal. If I was on the Josh Allen side, I just wouldn't do the deal, not knowing anything else. I just don't like the look of it at all. I prefer Allen over Daniels, and to be quite frank, Ricky Pearsall ascending. Yeah, he's one of my guys, but I would take Pearsall over Henry right now, even in redraft.
Yeah, like it comes down to your thoughts on Pearsall. Like, do you think his beginning of the season boom here is going to continue, or do you think it's going to fall off? If you think it's going to continue and he's just going to stay pretty much what he's been doing for most of the year, then I don't really love this. Like, I want to get, if you were getting Jaden Daniels, Derrick Henry, and Matthew Golden, okay, then that's different. That's where you're gaining that. You have to get a bigger advantage to me for trading away Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Like,
well, something else to consider. Brandon Ayuk apparently is not close to returning.
Right. Yeah. So, I was not. Yeah, and I actually went and I drafted Pearsall in some redraft leagues because of that. Like, I just saw that as a clear warning sign that Ayuk might not play much this year. Jaden, what I was going to say about Jaden Daniels, now is a good time to go out and try and go after him in your leagues, because whoever drafted him is probably pretty frustrated with him right now. Okay. I just don't know if this is the way to do it. That's all. I'm just worried on Ricky because Jennings and Kittle have been out. Okay. Fair enough, right? It's a good point. Kittle has been out, but the point here is if you understand the dynamic of the San Francisco offense, right? They funnel all of the targets and volume. It's very consolidated there. Okay. And so my concern with Pearsall prior to this season is that he was kind of in the Jaden Reed role with the Packers, right? Where he was the wide receiver 3, but he's obviously stepped up to a point where even when Ayuk comes back, I think Ayuk's got to fight for some touches, some targets, right? I think,
He's
the
got to
wide
fight
receiver
for snap share.
Yeah, the snap share is important. Like Pearsall was stuck as the wide receiver 3 in the Niners offense. You're stuck at like 60% snap share. You're not getting 70, 80, 90% like in some other offenses around the league where the wide receiver 3 is on the field a ton. Okay. And so that was my concern with Pearsall, but it's obvious to me now that he's getting 90% snap share for
Yep.
the whole season. So, yeah, I guess I would, if you want to do this deal, Bryce, I would trade a lesser receiver on your team. I don't hate trading Josh Allen. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. And I mean, I do understand wanting to go after Derrick Henry. I mean, Matt, what are your thoughts? Henry's fumbled 3 times now in the first 3 weeks. Are you concerned or no? Because I'm not.
I mean, never really seen Derrick Henry fumble a lot, and to see an averaging one a game right now.
Yeah,
I mean, what's his production look like? What's his points per
right,
game? Right.
right.
So no, I'm not worried about Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
I mean, who else are they going to put in? You know, it's not like
exactly.
the Patriots where you fumble a couple times and we got another dude we'll just throw in. That's not how it is. But Keaton Mitchell, Rasheen Ali, I mean, really, they're not putting anyone else in. They're not. Because the truth of the matter is Derrick Henry hardly ever fumbles. And I kind of look at these as a couple of one-offs. You know, the fumbles will stop, but he's not getting yanked. Derrick Henry's still a very strong fantasy asset, especially in redraft.
Yeah. So I guess what we're saying is, you know, I don't know that selling high, you're not selling high on Ricky Pearsall at a great point because he's not going to drop off.
Right.
Okay. Just because Kittle comes back, George Kittle is great because he's super efficient with minimal targets. He's not a target hog like Kelsey had been in the past or George Kittle does his production on 5 targets a game. It's insane, right?
Yep.
And so right now, even with Jake Tongs and Luke Farrell at tight end, those guys are getting 5 targets a week. Okay, so what I'm getting at is that Kittle's not going to steal any targets from Ricky Pearsall when he comes back.
Yeah.
So you don't need to worry about that. If you're going to do this deal, I understand wanting Daniels and Henry. I'm fine with that, but I would almost think that Daniels and Henry for Josh Allen would be a deal right
And it's
now.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Throw in a body at receiver, but the body that you throw in at receiver is more like Keyshawn Butte. You know what I mean?
And look, it's something I was going to say is, you know, George Kittle coming back only helps Pearsall. It's only going to help Ricky Pearsall. He's got his allocated share, and he's going to get it every game. Kittle's just going to make those targets better. That's it.
And he's going to have Brock Purdy back, too, who's going to be a little
Mac Jones
better
didn't
than
look bad though. Mac
Mac
Jones
Jones.
looked good.
Oh, Mac Jones is solid. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that Purdy is probably a little better.
Yes. Yes. I'm just what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
for a fill-in, if something happens to Purdy again,
Yeah.
and you're the Pearsall owner, there's really nothing to worry about.
No.
So
No. Now, I know Mac Jones showed up on the injury report this week, too. So,
no.
I'm not quite sure what the Niners are going to do. I couldn't tell
It
you
must
off
be their
the top.
training regiment. Their players, their skilled players get hurt all the time.
Yeah, it's something out there in San Francisco. I don't know.
Must be. All right, let's look at some
All
more trades, man.
All right, let's get back to Havdi and what he did in the Dynasty land. Let's bring up the old Patreon here. Okay. So his next deal following that one, he acquired Trey Benson. No, he gave away Trey Benson for the 27 first. And that is a projected early to mid 27 first. All right. So let me bring it. I didn't bring it up on the screen. Here we go. All right. There it is. So, well, it boils down to your thoughts on Trey Benson. Trey Benson, a hot name this week, obviously, with the James Conner ankle injury that puts him out for the year. Trey Benson now gets the bell cow role in Arizona, everything that you've been hoping for your late first, early second round pick from last season. So,
Right.
What are you thinking there with Trey Benson? I don't know if you saw his numbers from last night, but nothing spectacular, but nothing. I don't know. You could say DeMarcado
Well,
stole a touchdown at the end on him, but what do you
yeah,
think?
and that would have changed his view of the night, right? But
Oh, for sure.
in
Right.
IDP leagues, I have Trey Benson in an IDP league in which when he recovered that fumble, I got a little 5 point boost.
Nice.
So
Nice
a little
work.
bit better. Um, so I assume this move was made earlier in the week,
Yes, it was
but
made on
yeah,
Tuesday, I believe.
Tuesday. Yeah, I'm fine with it because regardless how you feel about Benson, if it's an asset you've been holding for a year, depending on what you spent, you haven't gotten a whole lot of it out of it, and now you have a chance to cash in, get yourself a first round for a team that's clearly going to be rebuilding. I don't like losing a young upside running back here, but running back's the last piece you need in that rebuild. So I'm okay with him getting rid of a running back to accumulate a first, especially in 2027. So I
Yeah,
think
and
this is
one that
actually a really smart move for Habji's roster in that league. Because Trey Benson's exciting and he may increase a little bit more in value throughout the year. But getting a 27 first right now before he took a snap as the starter, I think was very smart. It's a
yeah.
gamble, but it's a smart calculated move.
Yeah, I think that Trey Benson's value is the equivalent of a late first right now, which could increase to an early first or even, a first plus, depending on how well he plays the rest of the year, right? So he is taking that little bit of a gamble by acquiring this. But there's also the other side where he does only go 8 for 35 every week, like he did
Yeah,
last night. Now did get 5 catches for 19 yards out of the backfield, so that's promising to see the reception total at
right.
least that was still there. And again, like I said, the DeMarcado kind of stole a touchdown there late on him
Yeah,
because they were just resting Benson for a play, and DeMarcado happened to get the touchdown. But if he had gotten that, he would have been at 6 catches for whatever 28 yards and a touch. Like he would have looked
yeah,
like an awesome start. So I'm not worried about Benson, but I like the deal from Havdi's side of it.
yeah.
On the other side, Anthony. I'd have to bring up his squad. I
He
know
was a contender, so if I remember correctly, he was listed as a contender. I didn't see his squad, but I
Anthony is
mean,
a contender. He's at 5-1. So I can show you his squad real quick here, just so we get a clear picture on it. Havdi came into this league and really shook things up, man. He made like 5 deals here,
that's awesome.
and yeah, it was awesome. But everybody was trying to. All of a sudden, it was almost panic mode if you didn't make a deal. You know,
Hmm.
you had to get some part of the action. So yeah, here's Anthony's
Is this
squad.
is this a best ball league?
No, this is
Like
a
a line league?
12-by-9. Start 9.
Mm.
So that's where I was getting at with the idea of, okay, everybody's trying to make these deals right now, but are you really acquiring starters? Like Ramzak went out and got Nico Collins, okay? That
Yeah,
was a move for a hammer. Trey Benson isn't, but yet Trey Benson he does slide in here to Anthony's team as his second best running back
yeah,
right now.
but to be fair, you'd probably start Dobbins over Benson, right? I mean, I would right
Yeah,
now.
it's a great question. Dobbins versus Benson weekly. I have Benson ranked somewhere around you know, high to mid RB2 the rest of the season now, based on that volume
Yeah.
that he should be getting. Uh, so it's really close between Benson and Dobbins for now.
Mm.
Now, this week, yes, I would start Dobbins at home against Cincinnati. um, but,
But for the
taking
overall
a look at,
season, actually, you know what? If you look at the overall season, like Charbonnet cashed in a touchdown last night. That's great. But he needed another running back. I just feel like he had 327 firsts. I feel like instead of just spending one first, spend a little bit more and get a running back that's actually going to hit for you, uh, or another piece plus a first to go after a higher caliber running back.
yeah,
There
right.
could have been done. Could have done more here. Is my point. That's all.
I have a
Because the running
feeling
back
that he
room
tried
is
offering
just
one of the
complete.
other firsts for Benson, and Havdi insisted on getting the DeLoreans first. So that's
Yeah.
my thought on the process. I think that Anthony's a team that also is kind of a year away. I mean, look at his quarterback situation, right? Bo
Yeah.
Nix, Jackson Dart, and Russell Wilson.
Well, he's
Like,
got
is
that
that a
leadership in the quarterback room, though. Got that
yeah,
savvy veteran leadership in there. You never know.
right? But Ashton Genty off to a slow start.
Yeah.
Ebuka, Roma Dunze, Matthew Golan. Like, it's a great young team. Look at this,
Yeah.
Brock Bowers. But it's probably a year away, right?
Yeah.
Like, he needs Genty to get into his second and third year and actually have an offensive line there in Vegas. Um,
Yeah. Well, something else
so
too. Vegas needs a new offensive coordinator. Sorry, Chip Kelly's system just doesn't make sense for Genty's run style, um, and the talent that they do have at offensive line. They're just not good at his scheme. They're not fast enough. So I don't really know. I I feel like the Raiders need to change some things schematically, and until their talent matches what he wants to do, because right now it's a misfit operation, which is why they look like shit the whole time.
yeah, and it's turned into
They
the
used to
Geno
against
Smith.
Genty, but for the most part, he's getting stuffed. More than half his carries, he's hit at the line of scrimmage or behind it. So that's a
Yeah, he
tough
has
one.
more yak than actual yards.
Yeah,
Literally,
that's crazy.
146 yak and only 144 total yards. So
Hmm.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. He's getting the ball and he's literally running for his life as soon as he
Yep,
touches the ball.
yep,
So
yep. That's
yeah, I'll get him. Sorry.
no, that's good. That's a tough one though. I'm not super high on this deal for Anthony, but on Hovde's end, I think he did what he needed to do, get what he needed, or get what he wanted.
Yes.
So
Yes. All right. So let's move to the next deal for Havdi because we're staying on that path here. Where is it? Okay. So now this one was interesting because this was the next deal in line that he made. All right. So this one was with For the Brand, and For the Brand is in a massive rebuild. He has like his only asset really that he had was Tyler Warren and a bunch of firsts. Okay.
mhm.
So here is the next deal. And I don't know. It's hard to say that For the Brand made a great move here. So Havdi acquires Tyler Warren and Jacoby Myers for a 26 first and second and a 28 second. But at the same time, then Havdi, who seemed to be going in a rebuild, is now giving away his first and second,
Mhm.
26. So What do you think? What do you think here, Matt?
I'm not sure why Myers was a take unless that was just a throw in to get Tyler Warren done. But man, that's a lot. I like Tyler Warren, but I mean, the 26 first and second is fine, but throwing in the 20, man, that's tough.
You're looking at the
I don't like
26
this deal.
first. The
I don't like the
26
deal.
first is going to be about right now. It would be about pick 4 or 5. Okay,
Yeah,
and so you're giving up the 4th or 5th pick plus the 16th or 17th overall pick, and then Jacoby Myers for the second for the 28th second. That's fair. I think that the value is fair in this deal. I just don't know that I love the process and the thought of giving away that the flexibility of the first and second. Okay, I understand buying Tyler Warren to sort of throw in as a your placeholder, like you almost have a parked asset now at your tight end position with Tyler Warren. Yes, he's young and he's performing well in his first few games, but what if there's an injury to him? What if this? What if that happens? Like I think he would have been better served just keeping his picks to help improve that pick. Like he could still easily. There's 2 teams that are below him that are going to be picks 1 and 2, but he could get down to the 103 if he were to properly trade away points, right? But getting Tyler Warren and getting Jacoby Myers, like those are going to stack up against his max points for. This might help actually get him into the bottom end of the playoffs, which playoffs, like this is not, he's not a playoff team. Yeah. And then for the brand, like he had acquired Tyler Warren in a deal where he gave up Bo Nix. And he basically, in that deal, he had traded. In that deal, Tyler Warren was equal to Bo Nix in that deal. So now he's giving up Bo Nix essentially for a first and second. And I don't love that either. So this deal just doesn't make sense from both ends for me.
no,
Sometimes there's just, I don't want to say it's a lose-lose, but
it's just a deal that shouldn't have been done.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a deal they both might look back at and say to themselves, well, why did I do this? Like it's not the end of the world, but like I probably would have been better served just not to do it. I have grades like that all the time. When I look back at the end of a season, I'll have a lot of deals I'm proud of, but I will definitely have deals like, what the hell was I doing? Like it wasn't a good deal, it wasn't a bad deal. I just shouldn't have done it. You know.
Kind of like the Bears Panthers Caleb Williams for Bryce Young deal, right?
Oh my God, that was just stop. Both teams have gotten screwed on this deal.
What
That's
were
funny.
we thinking? Now, Caleb Williams did step it up last week. I'll give him that. But it was against the Cowboys defense.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he
Russell
can do
Wilson
it against.
looked all pro against the Cowboys secondary. So.
Yeah, exactly. So get Jordan Love into your lineup this week. All right. Next up, I decided to jump into the fray here. And so Havdi made those deals. Then the guy who is sitting at either the 101 or 102 this year that's battling for the brand, Chris Cash Money, he decided to start getting in on the action, and he put Travis Hunter out on the block. And Hunter is one of the guys who I had spoken about in my show earlier in the week that I saw as a buy. Okay. Now that's a polarizing take, I understand, because a lot of people are scared of the defensive usage so far. I, for one, am not, because the context on that to me is, well, one of their starting cornerbacks is out. And they're like, well, we've got this dude who was a Heisman Trophy winner that we just spent our whole future on. he's going to play corner now because we want to win ball games. We don't care about your fantasy teams. And I get that. And Travis Hunter, for me, is a bench wide receiver. He's my fourth or fifth wide receiver, depending on how you want to rank him against Calvin Ridley right now. So I don't need him to do anything. And I gave away my 27 first, which I'm hoping is a late first, along with Ollie Gordon. I threw in there to get the deal done with getting a fourth back. So that's the context on it. Matt, what do you think of that? Do you think he should have held on to Travis Hunter for a late 27 first?
No, I think that's fine. I mean, Hunter is probably the most value insulated asset fantasy wise on the Jaguars team. I mean, they've got more invested in Travis Hunter than they do Brian Thomas. The only person that comes, I guess, close to his insulation would be Trevor Lawrence, maybe. But no, I mean, I think that's totally fine. Like you said, you're trading away a late first, and Ollie Gordon, who was just, I mean, you cash in a little extra value increase on that one. So, yeah, I think that's fine. You're getting a value upgrade from Hunter from a late first because he was going early to mid first this year, and then you're getting back probably your investment plus on Ollie Gordon with a fourth. So I think that's totally fine. And if Hunter does break out, well, look at the deal you just made and how great it works out. And for the other way around, Chris Cash Money gets himself another pick in 27 to enter the Jeremiah sweepstakes.
Yeah. So context there, he's sitting on, I believe, 326 firsts and 427 firsts now. So he has positioned himself well for the future there. He's right in the middle with me value wise in this league. But yeah, he's number one now in draft capital. So you can see his squad here. I'll bring it up real quick. Now, again, the context of this whole thing is knowing your league, knowing who's going all in, who's trading away their stuff. And I made this move because he threw Travis Hunter out there, and I'm like, dude, this guy's selling and I knew he had Lad McConkey.
And he's got nothing else to sell.
We'll get to that deal next, and I feel bad about my deal after you see the Lad McConkey deal. I figured he was going to just hang on to Lad McConkey, so I should have asked about Lad, honestly. But here's his squad. You can see 3 firsts, including his own, in 26, along with 3 seconds. And then now 4 firsts in the very coveted 27 draft.
Yeah, so he's done a good job stripping the points out.
He could sit on Caleb and Cam Ward and still have very minimal max points, right? Yeah. So he'll end up with the first or second pick this year. I don't think that this year, as opposed to some years, that it's going to matter as much whether you have the first or second pick. Now, that might change come draft time. I mean, last year at this point, Cam Ward was like the 6th ranked quarterback, right? And look where he ended up. So we've got 4 or 5 quarterbacks that could be round 1 picks right now, and who knows which one will step it up the rest of the way this year. There's a lot of talent there. But anyway, back to his team. I like the deal from his end, and I just threw in Ollie Gordon because I'm loaded at running back, and I didn't really have any use for him. Even if Achane were to go down, I don't know if I'd get Ollie Gordon into my lineup. So,
yeah. No, I mean, like I said, he stripped the points out. So, he looks like a pretty good squad. You can bet on the number 1 pick this year.
Yeah, so then if you look at my squad, I can show you quick to give perspective on the deal that I made. So yeah, my draft capital is really went down with that deal. But like you said,
Right, but you're a contender. Your draft capital should be, I mean, it doesn't have to be, but a lot of the times it's going to be a little depleted if you're actually contending. That's just
right.
part of
And I
it.
felt that I was deep enough that I can weather a storm for even one or two injuries happening to
Yeah.
either the running back or wide receiver positions. You know, um, I've got these top four running backs. I've got these top four wide receivers now. I mean, the way Hunter's playing, I definitely am going to start Shakir over Hunter, but I haven't even been starting DK Metcalf
Yeah.
until this week now with CeeDee's injury.
Yeah, I
But
mean, but
again,
with this lineup, I'd probably be starting four of the running backs and your top two receivers.
yeah,
That's,
I have
yeah.
been. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been starting these four running backs and just the top two wide receivers.
Yeah.
So, um,
Okay.
yeah, it just boils down to as long as Josh Allen stays healthy, um, I'm I'm looking fine. It just is a matter
Yeah.
of how I
I agree.
perform in the playoffs, really. Um, so yeah, now I'll get into the deal that I was talking about that kind of frustrated me because he made this deal immediately after I got Travis Hunter. Let's slide it down here. Oh, that's your deal. We'll get to that one at the very end. Right there. So this was a little frustrating to see happen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that happened right after I traded for Travis Hunter.
He sold Lad McConkey cheaper than Travis Hunter in a non-IDP.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it is a 27
Good
first,
for
and
good for Hobby.
Havdi was looking like uh, he was rebuilding, but now I mean, Havdi's in the middle of the pack, essentially. But I
Yeah.
like this deal for him. Okay.
Yeah, he stole McConkey here. Look, I don't want to hear any more. I don't want to hear any more crap from Hobby on deals being made where I take advantage of people. He's taking advantage of Chris Cash. So
Yeah, so this is what I was
I'm not
getting at with
joking around, but like
the
that's tough.
overarching
That's a tough
theme
one to
here is
swallow.
when a guy goes into tank mode, even if you have all these assets and you're planning on waiting until the trade deadline to use them, right, to then make your move, right? And
Yeah.
yes, it's a good idea to hang on to those draft picks so that you can cover injuries because you don't know who's going to get injured the rest of from weeks 4 through 10 here, right? But at the same time, when these opportunities are getting thrown at you to acquire actual starting players or actual elite talent players like Hunter or like McConkey here, that's where you got to make the move. You don't need to go out and acquire Jacoby Myers right now for a second. Okay. That's not something you have to do. That's a deal you can wait for the trade deadline to plug in holes, right? The Trey Benson move, right? Wait
Right.
wait for week 10. See how your team is doing, then go and acquire. I mean, Trey Benson might be hurt week 10.
Yeah.
And then it's the DeMarcado show the rest of the way for Arizona, right? But you've already given up your first, and now you can't do it. So here, though, Lad McConkey, this is just a good, solid investment for me. I know McConkey's been a little weak in performance so far this year, but I think he'll bounce back strong. What I do love is the performance of Justin Herbert and the fact that this is his guy that he's latched onto now for the next few seasons. And yeah, I'm just willing to bet against Keenan Allen staying healthy for the rest of the way this season, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got another question
Okay,
here
so
from
this is
Brian.
this is a
He
great
just
deal for
traded.
Hobby.
Yeah, this is a good one for Javi. Brian just traded Judkins, Hunter, And Marv, and a 28 first, and a 27 second for Jamar Chase and Romeo Dobbs. Thoughts? Wow. So Judkins, Hunter, Marv, and a 28 first and 27 second for Chase and Dobbs. So, wow. Okay, so
That's
I
an
guess
executed trade.
you want to cross this off, you can cross Dobbs and the 27 second out, I guess, just to make it easy. So you're giving up Judkins, Hunter, Marv, and a 28 first for Chase?
No, sir.
Yeah,
I
that's too much.
Yeah, and look, I get it. You're getting a chance to get Jamar Chase, who was deemed the number one receiver in fantasy this year, but no Joe Burrow. Massive hit to all pass catchers, right? This isn't a
Yeah,
buy low. This is a buy at max value. Hunter, Judkins, a 28 first, and what was Marvin Harrison?
yeah,
Dude, that's a lot to give up. I get that Harrison hadn't produced. Judkins missed the first couple of weeks. Hunter's down, but like Jamar Chase isn't going to be putting up much either now the rest of the way. At least these
right.
guys have a chance to get better. We know Chase's numbers are going to go down. That's a bad deal, man.
Yeah.
That's a bad
Like he
deal.
says he's going for the win. If you're going for the win,
Not this year, though.
Puka would be the guy that you could actually justify doing something like this for. Because Puka is like, dude, Puka's averaging 25 a game right now, and he hasn't even caught a touchdown yet.
I
All
know.
right. Like, Puka is on track for a Cooper Cup type season from 5 years ago. And Jamar Chase, though, I just don't like the bet with Joe Burrow being out. Like,
Yep.
if Burrow was healthy, okay, and Chase was averaging 25 a game, okay, I get
Right.
it. You know, Hunter's playing like crap. Or Punter's not playing like crap. He's just not getting opportunity. Marv is down. Judkins, you're trying to sell high on, and the 28, is that a 26 or 20? It's a 28 first is so far down the road. Fine, but man, and I get it. Like Chase's value will rebound a little or be built back up when Burrow's healthy next year. So you get that, but you given up Judkins, Hunter, and Marv. All three of them, their values can go up this year. Again,
Two
I
rookies and a
guess I would have
sophomore.
looked elsewhere.
That's a heck of a cash out, man. That's all.
Yeah, it's just a little too steep for my liking, I guess. Now, I don't know the context of your league and the dynamics of who would have been able to, who else you would have been able to deal with. You know, obviously, if a contender's got Puka, then it would have been pretty tough to pry him off of that guy. If a contender has Justin Jefferson, like Jefferson to me is the buy. At least McCarthy's coming back for him, or Wentz is going to continue to play. I don't know. I don't think. I think they'll go back to McCarthy once he's healthy. But Jefferson is down in scoring as well. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Or go after JSN, who's popping but doesn't cost 3 firsts or
Yeah.
4 firsts in this case. Like 4 firsts is just because I'm counting Judkins, Hunter, and Marv all as a first plus the 28 first. Super top heavy league. Yeah, I hear you. And I understand having to go after hammers sometimes. I just don't. You're just selling low on on both Hunter and Marv here too much, in my opinion. That's all. I understand making the moves, but again, making this kind of move between week 3 and 4, this is a move that you make in a no trade deadline league or a move before week 13, right? Matt, if you absolutely have to have it and you're
Yeah,
going for the win, then
yeah. If
I
you're
could,
going for the win, I understand the move that's being made. It's just like you said, the timing of it not great, and then the player that you're getting back based on the what we see the rest of this season isn't awesome either. So it's
yeah,
just yeah. Not
because
that the
now,
idea of what you're doing is bad. That's there's nothing wrong with the idea. It's just when and who. That's
yeah.
all.
All right, let's let's finish up some of these deals here. So we've got more for you, more wide receivers, and you have a Brian Thomas deal
Yeah.
that you pulled off here, trading away Brian Thomas. And this is our which league?
This is
Taco
fantasy. Oh no, Taco Court. That's it. Taco Court.
or Fantasy Fisting Frenzy?
Uh, I don't remember. Probably Fisting Frenzy.
Okay. Either way, there it's a 12-team best ball.
Right.
Start 12. And you went and acquired Travion Henderson, Isaac Tesla, 27 first, 26 fourth, 4 BTJ, Woody, Marks, a second and a third. So talk me through this deal, Matt. I know that you and Sam went back and forth a number of times on here, and it all boils around Brian Thomas and his disappointing start to the 25 season.
Yeah. So first of all, shout out to Sam on a good process of trading. It's amazing when you have open communication with a trade partner and you just talk it out. You'll find a deal if you both agree on some of the base pieces, right? So that was a great experience. But yeah, so I'm not totally out on Brian Thomas, but I'm close because my reservation with him coming into this year, most of his good production that we saw last year came with Mac Jones throwing the football, not Trevor Lawrence. A lot of those big, like, who is this guy? Like, man, he's awesome. Well, Mac Jones was making those passes, not Trevor Lawrence, right? So that's some of it. The Jacksonville went and traded up to get the number 2 pick to bring in Travis Hunter, which by year 3 should be 100% offense. So I get this feeling in my gut that like something was telling me like I need to get out of Brian Thomas before I have no value to soak out of him or to extract, right? So I went and started thinking about what I would like in return. I needed a younger running back that I could kind of bank on for this team to build with. And Henderson came to mind as another guy that's buy low. He had a fumble early in like week 2. Last week though, Ramondre had a couple of fumbles. And I'm
Gibson
just like,
fumble.
if Vrabel punished Henderson for his one fumble, what do you think is going to happen to the other guys? They're going to be punished too. And I think coming into this week, Henderson's probably a great start in a weird matchup, but a good start. And I like his outlook for the rest of the rest of his career. He's got pass catching upside. I love that. And then I wasn't happy about giving up Woody Marks, not at all. But
Yeah.
it wasn't like I had a comparable piece to Woody, and I figured that's kind of what he wanted. So I started to look around on his roster of, well, what would it take for me to get off Woody? I like Tesla, and I still get a first, and then we just did a pick swap, the third and fourth in the end to get it done.
Yeah.
So a couple of pick swaps, some equal lower assets, and then on the bigger assets, maybe I give up a little bit of value on Brian Thomas, but don't care. Don't care. I'd rather get value out of him while I can, as opposed to, man, maybe I'm not getting near the deal that I'm getting right now next week.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so for me, from my perspective, if I'm going to play, the cross-off game here, the 26th, third, and fourth, that doesn't even matter to me. But being best ball, I actually like Tesla better than if this was a lineup league. Okay,
right?
because he's going to get into your lineup a couple times,
Yeah.
right?
He's already
And then
gotten in the lineups.
Yeah,
First couple of
and
weeks,
if you
so.
have an injury, okay, Jamison Williams and Amon-Ra have both been far, but if you have an injury, Tesla he's very versatile as a receiver. Okay, he could take over either spots actually, and we've seen a couple of highlight reel catches from him already. So that at least, and he's got a cool last name too, right? So I mean, that only helps. It does.
Yeah.
I mean, it does. If his name was George Smith, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who wants Arian Smith from the Jets?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if he made a highlight catch, like it just isn't as cool. So anyway, and the Lions are on TV and whatever. You get a little bit more action there. He's got a good quarterback, right? So I'm actually in best ball. Tesla does have a little juice, and I really like Woody Marks too. I mean, we did the video before the season, and I picked Woody Marks as my Bucky Irving of this year, right? And he is following that path right now. If you look at the snap share, and you
chip it away.
you know that
Just
you know
like
this,
Bucky did.
Matt. This is why you didn't want to trade him away, but you had to put him in there to get the deal done, and that's what you did. And so I guess that's possibly a little detriment on the Houston offense, because you're not, if you were that convicted in the Houston offense, you would not have let Woody Marks go.
Well, it comes down to this: like, do I want Travion Henderson? Yes.
Yeah,
Do I want
and I
Woody?
love getting,
Yes.
I
Which
love
one do I
buying
want
him
more?
right now.
Yeah. Which one do I want more though? I want Henderson more, so I will give up Marks if it gets me there, because in return, I get Tesla, which I don't have a ton of exposure to, so I'm happy to increase that. I was excited about this deal. I think both of us were happy with our deal here.
Yeah.
We worked to it, but both parties willing to trade whatever pieces needed if comparable return was coming. And I think that's the part that's key here, is the open-minded. Woody Marks was not on the block for this deal, but he found his way in. He asked for him. I asked for a return and got it. So that's, that's perfect.
And that's what it really comes down to, is sometimes you got to give a little. Like you might be convicted in your guys and this and that, and this part of the reason why I play and you play in multiple leagues here is so that you don't feel so bad when you give away a guy you love, right? I traded DK Metcalf in a league 2 weeks ago. I never envisioned myself trading away DK, okay? But that's the point. When you're in multiple leagues, it's okay to do that so that you're not feeling sick to your stomach about it. And Brian Thomas, right? I know you loved him from, coming from LSU and whatever, but let me say this about him. He does not have that alpha mentality, right? You see Jamar Chase in an interview after a game, no matter how well he played in that game, he's still going to walk out onto the field the next week and think he's the best damn player on the field.
Yeah.
I don't think Brian Thomas Jr. does that.
Yeah.
I think that Brian Thomas Jr., he played with Malik Neighbors at LSU, and Neighbors was a dude that was like, I am getting 10 targets this week, or I am going to bitch about it until you get me those 10 targets. Brian Thomas is a guy who's, he's T. Higgins is really what he is, I think. He's totally fine getting 5 targets and whatever. He's probably a really good teammate, okay? And he actually did make a big play at the end of last week's game. He got him into field goal range to win the game, right? They ended up scoring a touchdown because the Texans let them walk into the end zone. But the point being is, I don't think that Brian Thomas Jr. has that mentality to jump into the top 5 dynasty-wise. It's kind of something that I'll talk about my guy, Egbuka. I don't know that Egbuka has that either, because just of what, his role was at Ohio State. It's kind of, it's what had me shy away from Justin Jefferson, though, when he was getting drafted. I'll admit that. And that obviously was a wrong take. Okay. But with Brian Thomas Jr., I just don't see it. So I don't hate getting out on him, even on the down side here, because Trevor Lawrence doesn't look good. And even though he's going to be there no matter what, Trevor Lawrence, and I think they will figure it out a little bit. Like you mentioned, Travis Hunter was drafted super high. And once Travis Hunter starts getting more in the film room with the wide receivers, I think that you're going to see a little bit more of a. I think Travis Hunter has a little bit more of that dog in him,
Oh
right?
yes. Oh
Yeah.
yes. He's more humbled about it, and
Yeah.
he lets his play do more of the talking, but he's got it. He's got it. And you
Just
can
like
see it with the way
Jefferson.
that
Jefferson's
just the way
like
he
that.
conducts himself in his play, right? He wants to be the best. He practices hard. He works hard. He tries his hardest to correct his flaws. So I think when someone's a student of the game like that, they don't necessarily have to talk it. Like Malik Neighbors in the interview. What do you think about the quarterback changes? Sounds like they're trying to get number one the ball. Do whatever it takes to get number one the ball, right? Something like that. Hunter just says it
Absolutely.
in his head and then goes out and shows you it, right?
Yeah.
Neighbors says it out loud and then shows you it too. So
Yeah.
just a little different approach. That's all.
Yeah. And yeah, Brian Thomas, I'm sure will end up having a few good games this year. But again, like I just see, and this is why I kind of avoided him in startups this year. I kept seeing T Higgins over and over with him, and so yeah, I don't know how low his value is going to drop if he has a bad week again next week, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I love buying Trevion Henderson right now. I think this is a perfect time to swoop in and grab him. Travion Henderson, somebody who his value fluctuated a lot this offseason on whether you were taking him over Judkins or not. More people were on the Travion train. And I understand that. He's a little more elusive and got more top end speed than Judkins. Judkins is more of a first and second down grinder type. So I think Henderson does have a better ceiling. And right now, his value's depressed. Definitely. But with those couple of fumbles and what they have in New England, like really, Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson, like, come on. This Henderson's due for a not necessarily this week, but much like RJ Harvey, I think come week 10, you're going to be happy you made this deal. That's
Oh yeah.
that's what it comes down
Look,
to.
if you own a Volvo and a Ferrari, but the Ferrari makes you a little nervous because you're not as comfortable with the rear wheel drive and the high horsepower, right?
Yeah.
Makes you a little nervous. You drive that Volvo and then we bring out the Ferrari on the weekend, but at some point you're going to get a hold of that Ferrari and be like, why the hell am I in this Volvo? I am ready to tear up the streets. And then you're just going to go tear up streets. I
Yeah.
mean, eventually you're going to get out of comfort and safety and you're going to go with the Ferrari and you're going to try to do something with it. And it's going to be
Yeah.
fun. It'll be fun to
Yeah.
watch. That's kind of how I look at it. And I just got me a Ferrari.
And Mike Vrabel's not a stupid coach. Okay,
Makes
got to
great.
give him credit here. He's not an idiot. He and things are. Drake May is performing great this year. I think he's fifth in quarterback scoring, and that's with minimal performance from the wide receivers. I mean, it's been the Hunter Henry show.
Yeah, it has.
Victory lap that one, but Drake May performing well. I think Travion Henderson suits Drake May's play style very, very well. And I think they're just learning to play together, and it's going to develop over the season. And ultimately, what it comes down to for me is I almost see Henderson and Brian Thomas are going to end up equaling themselves out. And you might get the positional benefit of having a stud running back there.
Yeah.
And then you got the first versus the second. So I do like your end of this one, even though I do like Woody Marks as well going forward. So,
Yeah, no, I love Woody. That was a tough one to let go of, but
yeah. All right.
I like my return.
Yes, sir. Good job,
I've
Matt.
been trying to steal Woody in some other leagues, and I can't get certain people to buy it, and it's killing me. But
And to
oh
be
well.
fair to Sam, here, I don't hate it from his side either. I mean, he's buying low on Brian Thomas for sure with this.
Right.
And he's getting that potential uh, boost with Woody Marks. Now we've got some smaller deals that happened in that one. Here's my boy in the Dynasty Lamb League. Back to it. Just some sell-offs here, but again, buying high
Are these
on
next
Hunter
few
Henry.
our rapid fire picks here on
Yes.
the
So
okay.
we had the fire sale
Ooh.
going on here with for the brand.
Ooh.
Hunter Henry going for Tank Dell and a third. Love this deal from both ends. Anthony looking to contend, scooping up Hunter Henry, my pick for a top 5 tight end season. And I think he's tight end 3 right now.
Yeah, he's killing it, man.
And don't hate it at all for the brand side, getting Tank Dell, who could bounce back and get some value, but you're getting the Hunter Henry points
Yeah.
off of your team. That's the real key here. And the third rounder, that's basically what Hunter Henry, I mean, maybe you could get 2/3. I don't know. Trying for a second for Hunter Henry is probably tough sledding right now, even
Yeah.
with his performance.
This
It's just his age and injury history.
this is a good take for Brandon here because I mean, look, Tank Dell. From what I've heard this week,
Mm-hmm.
Tank Dell is that guy in the wide receiver room. Like he is the alpha, the vocal guy,
Yeah.
and I think this year him not being on the field in any capacity has really affected that team. I think it affects CJ. I think it affects the receiver room and the whole dynamic of everything. So when Tank comes back, I don't know what his role will be, but I do know that the receiver room and CJ will be better. So it's not the end of the world. I don't think Tank Dell's career or role with the Texans is gone yet. I really don't. You hate to see the injuries on that young of a talent, but this isn't a bad deal because I don't think Tank Dell's done yet at all. I think it's a really good deal for the brand. And for Anthony being a contender, he beat me last week, and I was like second or third in points. I happened to play one in points. So, anyhow, yeah, this is a good move for him. Makes him harder to beat in this league. So, I
All
hope
right.
Hunter Henry finds age. I hope Father Time finds him soon.
Hey, we've got a
Because I
lot
don't
of
think I think I have like one share of Henry in a redraft league. So
yeah, the old tight ends in Henry and Zach Ertz so far have been paying off. All right, now you acquired a tight end here in Colston Loveland. This was which league was this?
skid marks for free or
Okay,
skid marks
skid
for fun.
marks with
Yeah.
Foss Boss here. So Foss Boss got out on Loveland, who did have an injury last week. And that's what sort of has made him tradable, I guess. Most people who drafted Loveland weren't wanting to get off of him yet. All right, because if you drafted Loveland, you picked him with either a late first or early second round pick, hoping for him to be the Sam Laporta of the Chicago offense, basically, with Ben Johnson coming over. And so I don't know. I like this deal for you. Turpin, as great as he is as a third wide receiver, he's just a throw-in, really. And Njoku, I'm kind of falling out of favor with there in Cleveland with Harold Fannin coming on and Njoku, his contract situation probably going elsewhere next year. Who knows? But yeah, I love getting Loveland here, and I'm not a Colson Loveland guy at all. So, Matt, what are you
Yeah.
talk
So
us through
this
it?
is a total rebuild. I stripped this roster down. I mean, I didn't get rid of like all these great pieces, but I got rid of the older pieces that produce. And
Even
so, like in
better.
this league, I'm actually not a bad team. I can actually compete this year because the young guys I have are good. But I had to get some points off. One and two, I just wanted to get younger at that position, and so I mean now at the tight end position, I have Loveland, Terrence Ferguson, and Ben Simmons. Those are my three tight ends in a rebuild. Um, so I feel like I got a really high end young tight end in Loveland on a discount. So I had to take that deal. Um, because everything else is young. The only thing I'm missing here is a running back, but I'll get that in the next year or two when it's time to actually turn on the competition. So everything else is falling into place for this league as far as bringing in the young pieces. I love it. You didn't think
Yeah.
when I put Torrey Horton in Superflex last week that I'm going to push you to the brink of a loss to the worst team in the league.
Hey, it was close.
Dude, that was
But no, I love this deal. Even if you're a contender, I like this deal as long as you had another body to put in at tight end other than Njoku. So yeah, this doesn't matter to me, the format. I like the Loveland side of this one. So
It's
all
not
right,
bad for
that's
Floss. He's
what
on
we
he's on a turning point of his season of do I go for it? And so when I put the offer out there, I told him, I said, well, this is your decision, man. This is where your season, you got to make a decision. Either you're going to say yes and make the trade and it's going to work or it won't, or you're going to say no and then it's going to work or it won't. You got to choose. And so he made his choice. So I'm not going to
Yep.
beat him up for that on the trade show. I mean, I like my side of it, or I wouldn't have offered it.
right.
But he's trying to make a play to compete, so I can't fault him for that.
Yeah, and to be
Turpin
fair
will
to
give him points
Foss,
as long as he's out, Turpin's going to produce.
right. Yeah, to
So-
be fair to Fossboss, like, yeah, Turpin is definitely a guy you can plug in as your last flex right now, for sure. There's a couple of wide receivers out there right now that are of that similar ilk. You got Sterling Shepard in Tampa with Evans out. Thornton in Kansas City, similar. He's come on the last couple of weeks with the touchdowns, and even with Xavier Worthy coming back, I think with Rashee Rice out, I think Thornton still gets some looks this week. If you've watched any of the Baltimore games, you know that their defense hasn't stopped anybody.
Yeah.
So that'll be an interesting game. That'll be the late game on Sunday afternoon for the nation to see. Of course, we get the Chiefs, but yeah, it should be a good game. I'm a little jealous that they didn't slide the Tampa Eagles game, because that's going to be a better game.
That's going to be a much better game.
Let me kick their ass. Hey, we've beaten the Eagles 2 in a row now. We ain't afraid. So.
Well, if y'all are the ones that have their number, just make sure you see them in the playoffs. You know?
What I'm looking forward to is we activated Desmond Watson from the practice squad for this week against the Eagles.
Okay.
So Desmond Watson and Vita Vea against the tush push.
Okay.
I'm ready. That's if the Eagles can get down into the red zone against us, because
Yeah.
they've had trouble against their
team. The Zebras are going to be watching that tush push alignment pretty damn hard now that they've caught them lining up off sides.
Yeah.
They're going to be watching that crap close.
For sure. And sometimes, I mean, my optimism bodes, like I said, we've beaten the Eagles 2 times in a row now. The first one was against them in the playoffs when A.J. Brown was out, to be fair. But we beat them, I think it was like 31-9 in that one. And then last year, we had them smoked in the first half. Then Saquon had a big run, made it a closer game. But anyway, my point that I'm getting to is sometimes certain teams match up well against others.
Yeah.
And I think that Todd Bowles has a good defensive plan against the Eagles offense.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Maybe the Eagles will respond with a better performance this time. If Saquon can run all day, the Eagles are pretty much going to beat anybody. That's their game. That's their game plan. They don't want to be playing from behind like they had to do last week. Now, they were still able to pull it out because they're that good. And so I don't want to act like, we're going to steamroll them this week. This should be a great matchup. And, just one that I wish was getting a little more national attention. But, it's Tampa.
Yeah.
We're not the Chiefs.
Small market team.
Exactly.
With big dreams.
Big dreams. We got Baker leading that way, and I love it.
That's right.
So
I love me some Baker. Don't disrespect his passes by catching it with one hand.
That's right. You caught that one? Oh, that was great.
I love that on the sideline where he said,
"Hey, rookie." Don't
That's
disrespect my passes.
it's the sideline banter that's funnier. The press room is funny, but like on the sideline, that's amazing. I love it. I love Baker.
Well, I hope we can pull it
That's
out.
why I like him because that's the personality he has. He's a
Yeah,
big kid, and I
yeah.
think that's
He's
great.
just a big kid. He's always having fun,
Hmm.
and yeah, that's why I think the teammates love him. And yeah, hopefully we got big things coming this season. This week 4 matchup should help us out. It is only week 4, so whichever way it turns out isn't a huge deal, but it could have implications down the road, right? As a tiebreaker implication or something
Yeah.
like that. Because I think in our division we're in good position to have a decent record this year, and yeah, as
You
long
think?
as we get Evans, if we get Evans and Godwin back healthy, yeah, I'm very excited for the potential for this roster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
All
good
right.
roster, man.
Well, what do you think? Are the Texans going to pull one out this week?
If they don't, their season's over.
Hey, they are the last team. They are the last 0-3 team to make the playoffs. So you
Great.
have
Do
that
it
going
again.
for you.
Do it again.
Hey, I think they can do it. You know, Indy and Daniel Jones have been a great story so far, but there's still the fact that he's Daniel Jones. So we'll buy into it when the Colts actually buy into it and give him a big contract. We'll see. Um,
I wouldn't give that dude a contract till the end of the season. Do not jump the gun and sign him mid-season and then watch his game do this.
he's got a
Go
big test
straight
this
down.
week. The Colts travel to the LA Rams this week. So this will be, I think, the Colts' first real test. Now they did do well against Denver. I'll give them that credit because Denver is an
Yeah.
awesome defense. But now if they can do it again against a very solid Rams team that somehow fell apart last week and is going to be fired up to bounce
This
back
week,
from
yeah.
that. You know what I mean? That was a huge letdown for the Rams. They were up 26-7 in Philadelphia and they blew it.
Yep.
So the Rams are going to be
Well, they don't
looking.
blitz a lot either. They try to bring pressure with 4, and I think they got
Yeah.
real comfortable with that. And like it's not going to work long against the Texans. Yeah, that's going to work. Bring 4, and that's all you need to do. But
Right.
against a good offensive line and against a good offense, you got to start dialing up the pressure and
Yeah,
bringing it
and we'll see
from
what they try to do
different full
because the Colts are a good offense. You know, if Daniel Jones is running it well, they have a good O line. They've got a great running game with JT, and then they've got like four good wide
pass
receivers
catchers. Yeah,
and Tyler Warren. You know, so the pieces are all there for the Colts, and it's coming together. This is a real great matchup this week. That's totally flown under the radar. I think nobody's talking about it, but both teams are very good teams. The Rams are a definite contender from the NFC to go to the Super Bowl, and the Colts, we'll see. I mean, realistically, how far do you think the Colts could go? Like nobody
go to
is
the
putting the
playoffs.
Colts.
Now there's going to be a dip in performance, and they're going to have some off games. That's going to happen. But if this type of play is the consistency for the Colts this year, they could absolutely win the division and go into the playoffs.
Yeah,
Because the rest of the division looks like trash.
yeah.
So, I mean,
This could be the last week to somewhat buy Daniel Jones cheap. Put it
Yeah.
that way. Yeah. And Michael Pittman as well. Because Pittman's been playing very well, and he's also gone under the radar. Like
Yeah.
his trade value is still under a first right now. And I think both you and I agree, like Michael Pittman's still, even going into this season, like he's a good wide receiver. He just has been in a bad situation. Like anybody who's
I'm
owned
not a
him.
fan of his style, but like his role, I'm not a big fan of. But I mean, especially in PPR formats, the man gets targets, and he's finally got a quarterback that can give him not just consistent targets, but catchable targets. That's the kind of a
Right.
big
Catchable.
trick. Volume's never been his question. It's always how good is the volume. right?
Right.
So
And his back is holding up. Like his back is what's been killing him over the last couple of years because of all the hospital balls that have been thrown his way. So, I
yeah,
mean, it's true. Like I remember watching that game. I don't know if it was on Thanksgiving or when that was last year. Maybe it was a Christmas game. He got smoked in the back last year, and that was just, it was painful to see. But it's good that he's back and performing well. So that's another trade target for you right now. Go get him before he balls out this week, too. All right.
yeah.
So, any final thoughts before we head out of here, Matt, and head into week 4? On How about on the
Well,
overarching theme, right, of buying now as a contender?
yeah.
Be careful.
Uh, my final thought is if there's a piece that's out in play for you to go get now, and you believe that's the piece, go get it now. Just go get it now because it's coming, and everybody seems to be selling early.
Yeah.
If there's players that you think will be a good target that you're waiting on, I wouldn't wait. I would go get it
Yeah,
because
because
the
if you
value's going to
wait,
go up. I mean,
right.
look at our league. I just traded for AJ Brown in one of our leagues, paid a first and a third for him. Uh, AJ Brown, and I bought him right after he went off, but his value's still not super high. He's 29 years old, but his value's going to keep going up, and I had to do it then. Had to if I wanted to get the points. So otherwise, yeah. So sometimes you just
Well,
got to move early. That's all.
hold that thought, Matt. We got one more question here.
Okay.
One more question, Nick. Just got offered AJ Brown for Henderson, straight up. Tight end premium, Superflex 2 QB, tight end premium. My current RBs are CMC, Achan, Ford, Hunt, and Bill. My wide receivers are Addison, Ladd, Marv, Jennings, Tillman, and Judy. Okay, so you'd add AJ Brown, so that would immediately become his best wide receiver for Travion
Yep.
Henderson, who is,
Third.
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 I like it. I don't know. If you're a contender, I would say go ahead and do it now before AJ Brown goes
Yep.
out and has another good game, and then he's unattainable because you'd have to pay like 2 firsts for him, and I don't know that you want to do that at his age. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Plus, you got JCM. He's got JCM to run as his third back, so
yeah,
he's not going to hurt from a body
right,
standpoint. Yeah, I actually like the deal based on looking at hearing what his receivers
yeah.
were. I would do that deal. You're
He's
giving up
two
your
and
third
one,
running
top
back
five.
for a new number one receiver.
2-1, top 5 in scoring. He's got Josh Allen and Caleb Williams as his 2 quarterbacks. Yeah, I love it. If you got Josh
Yeah, do
Allen,
it.
you don't wait on somebody like Travion Henderson. You go now and make the moves.
Yep.
Josh Allen is a guy that if you've got him on your roster and you're not in the top 5 of your league, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
You got to be going for it if you have an asset like Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson. You own any of those 3 quarterbacks, you got to be. I will not talk you away from making a win now move. That's my
Yeah.
thoughts, and that's how I play it with all the teams that I have those 3 guys on. So yeah, Nick, go for it. I like that move. We did talk up Travion Henderson. Both of us love the buy low opportunity on him. So maybe you're
For
trading
his
with a
roster,
guy that's more rebuilding. So it's more of a win-win deal for both of you, I think.
mhm.
You know,
Yeah, for his roster, he needs to sell the Travion to get that AJ Brown. I like
that,
that. That's
yeah,
a win, dude.
yeah,
That's a value win too.
yeah,
It's nice.
absolutely. All right, love it for you, Nick. Go ahead and smash that accept button. All right. That's all we've got for you today in the Birdhouse on our Dynasty Trade Show. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to smash that like and subscribe. We'll have more stuff coming out for you very soon, every week. All the action. We'll hit it up, Matt and I. And we want to thank you for joining. And remember to never stop working.